Hypercharges are the most powerful thing in Brawl Stars. Aside from the credit card, that is. The more often you can cycle them, the more value you get. And while some take forever to achieve, others charge very fast. So I devised a test. I got 2 Franks acting as test dummies, and each brawler took their turn using any ability that they have to find out 2 things. Number 1, how many supers does it take to cycle to a hypercharge, as in a real game, that's actually an important stat. And 2, in a near ideal setting, how long would it take each brawler to charge up their hypercharge? And trust me when I tell you that you will be shocked by the number 1 brawler. I know I was. So what do you think the slowest charging hyper in the game is? The one that belongs to the brawler that actually a lot of people love this brawler, but in terms of how many supers it takes him to get it and how long he can beat these 2 Franks, 18 supers. 18. Yeah. And almost 5 seconds. I mean, the fire helps out a little bit, but honestly, not very much. And right above him, we've got Surge, which 4.5 supers. Surge, you fell off, bro. It takes him quite a while, and really, if you're not at stage 4, then what's the point? You might as well just stop. He needs a buff. Gene, just poking. It takes forever as well to get that super. 3 of them it takes to get that hypercharge. And this is getting full hits with Gene. It still takes him this long to get it, but you're most likely going to be poking from a distance, so it's not going to be really great for you with Gene's super. You're probably going to miss those 3, and even with your hypercharge, you're probably going to miss that too, because, I mean, I would miss it. Spin would miss it. Gus over here, the slowest of all of the support brawlers. Takes him 3 supers to cycle out to get his, and in this test, 3.5 seconds. I mean, he's never been known for damage, but regardless of all of that, Gus is pretty solid. Still a good brawler, but just pretty slow. The one that surprised me is actually Fang. You remember when Fang... Let me pause for a second. You remember when Fang first got his hypercharge? Yeah, it was absolutely ridiculously cracked. What happened to it? It's not that great anymore. I mean, yes, 3 seconds isn't the worst thing ever. It's still 89th place. Fang really fell off. I guess at least he can chip from a distance. That's good, but one person who can't chip from a distance and their reload speed is yeah, it's meeple. Reload speed. That's all I really need to say. The one that's actually surprising here is actually Ollie. Now, Ollie, 2.5 seconds basically to kill these 2 Franks. Not bad. And 3.25 supers to get his hypercharge. Definitely on the low side, but once Ollie gets that hypercharge, it's absolutely ridiculous. So I guess that makes sense for it to be 3.25 of them to get it, but yeah. Gale here, this is assuming that you actually hit all of your shots and there's 2 Franks so you can pull that off here. In a game, you're never going to actually do that. Like when it first came out, his hypercharge used to be so cracked you could get it so often along with his supers, and then they nerfed it, and now he finds himself in 85th place. Now coming in right at 2.09 seconds, right there with Gale, we do have Chester. Chester's hypercharge is absolutely cracked. I mean, it's really, really good. So it's probably good it takes 3.25 supers to get it, along with Sandy, whose is actually slightly quicker. I think the Mute ought to be a little bit stronger, maybe, because his hypercharge doesn't feel like the same that it always has been. But one that is absolutely cracked is Draco. You've played against Draco. You've seen him running at you with purple flames, and what can you do about it? Seriously, you run. That's what you do about it. It's freaking Draco. He may be 82nd on this list, but it's a lot better than that. Under 2 seconds to get his hypercharge is actually Lou. It does take 3 supers to get there, but like if you're in hot zone, you're going to be throwing down your supers. You're going to be controlling the zone. You're actually going to get your hypercharge a little bit quicker than what this might suggest, so it's actually not too slow. Yeah, it was way down on the list, but still, it's not too awfully horrible. And plus, once you get it, Lou's hypercharge is absolutely wild. Now, Leon's like 3.5 supers to pull off a Leon hypercharge. That's not great. His hypercharge is good, but it's not, I don't know. There should be a 3 right next to this super, but it's not there. But just so you know, it takes 3 lorries to make a purple lorry. Max, however, is just kind of middle. It's actually low, 77, but, you know, it is what it is. However, Jay Young, we don't know how many supers it takes because it automatically charges his super, and that doesn't work for his hyper. Although if you do use his damage gadget, you will get it quicker, so there's that. So B is actually the slowest of all of the marksmen. It's really not that slow, though. I mean, you can spam shots forever in a day and never stop. 2.5 supers to cycle before you can get your hypercharge. Not too shabby. Now, Janet, another marksman, actually gets it quicker, but she gets to hit 2 shots at once because of double Franks. B only gets 1, so she got a little bit of an advantage there. She kind of cheated, but it just is what it is on this test. Now, we did have to cheat a little bit here with Colette because, well, she would actually just kill the Franks. She wouldn't get her hypercharge, and she would kill the Frank. So we had to add a third Frank in there. 3.5 supers to get her hypercharge is a little bit rough, but, you know, once you do get it, it does deal a lot of damage, although it's not quite as good as it used to be now that Heist changed and now it's got stages, so it's really only good for, like, one of the stages. But Cordelius is a little bit strange as well because you can't actually use your super on the target or else you go into the Shadow Realm. And if you go into the Shadow Realm, as I'm sure you know, you don't charge your super at all. But he does get a little bit of advantage because he's got that charging circle radius and there's 2 targets in there. So coming in at 69. Nice. We've got Cordelius. Now, Finks, we actually stopped the timer just a tiny bit early because we missed some shots in there. Although in a real game, you're never going to hit all of those shots anyways because of the way you have to angle it. At most, you're going to hit 2. You're never going to hit 3. So realistically, you're never going to hit him in a game anyway. And also thinking of things that are never realistic, we've got Mr. P here. Now, his porters were sitting there just wailing away at the Franks, standing there doing nothing. But in a real game, that's just never going to happen. People are going to kill your turrets. Even if they get hits, which if someone's just running away from them, you're never going to hit those porter shots anyways. All I know is that when there's a Mr. P on my team, I rarely see him actually get any hypercharges at all. So yeah. All right. So I'm just going to let you guys know right now. We actually took off some time on his because we missed a couple shots here during the interaction. So we gave him some credit on the time because I know how you guys are. Every time you're in the comments, oh my God, Lex, you could have done this slightly more optimal and you would have been so much better. You're a newbie. Do you not have anything better to do than to stare at this video and dissect every little bit just so that you can get your favorite brawler 0.2 seconds better? It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's all right. Right. It's your favorite. You know, if your favorite brawler's Miko, there you go. Hank, however, God, he's down at 64th, but like, I don't care how fast he gets his hypercharge. He's still just a menace to play against. I hate playing against Hank. Angelo is a weird one because, well, you actually have to hit your shots to get your hypercharge. His shots can be a little bit hard to hit sometimes, and it takes 3 full supers to cycle to get that hypercharge. And even when you get it, it's not like the greatest thing ever. I mean, sure, you can move along and you can do some more damage, but it's like, it's a little bit underwhelming to get that hypercharge, if I'm going to be honest. Willow's is kind of the same way, but Sprout, if we're going to talk about ridiculously pointless hypercharges, do we really need to look any further than this brawler right here? The only place that his hypercharge is good is Heist. Nobody plays Sprout in Heist. Nani also, her hypercharge, I mean, I guess it helps get more hits with the Nani, the peep head, but it's just not that great. Now, we did use Shatter over here for Bonnie. Nobody uses Shatter. Nobody uses that star power, but it worked in this scenario. So yeah, we were able to get a little bit extra with her. The old Ruffs here, which by the way, I love this picture. Did you know that Ruffs is completely bald up there? I really don't have anything else to say with Ruffs except that he's bald. Sort of, but not really. I don't know. Daryl, now he's actually started off a little bit ahead because the super actually auto charges some. So it got a little bit funky. But yeah, he still performed pretty well. His hypercharge, you can get it pretty quickly, especially being a tank. You charge them up. We got Egg Pam though. I gotta pause it. It's Egg Pam. Let's just take a moment to bask in the glory of Egg Pam. And just look at that. Just look at it. The average total time across all of these tests is 1.17 seconds, which means Pam is like the most average to get all the hypercharges. What? What's that you say? Pam doesn't have a hypercharge? Pam doesn't have a hypercharge. Why is she on this list, Lex? I'll tell you why. Yes, she does have a hypercharge. Technically. Not really, but technically she does. In the death build, she has one. She's getting the shadow. She's getting cracked in game. Like, nobody, they're just decided, you know what, Pam, you're not getting your hypercharge. We've made it. We're just not going to give it to you. She's very, very average. She's the most average, but that's assuming you're hitting all your shots, which you're never really going to be hitting all your shots with Pam. So it just is what it is. However, the one that shocked me here, look at this. Look at this. 1.5 supers to cycle her hypercharge, which is pretty crazy. I mean, it still takes a while. Her damage, her supercharge is a little bit slower, but 1.5 supers to get her hypercharge is pretty dang good. Now, we do have some tanks. Again, tanks get a little bit of a benefit just because they charge up that hypercharge while they're getting attacked, so there's that. And then again, we got other ones like Piper, which she actually did pretty well in the test, but Marksmen are a little bit of a disadvantage here at times because they usually can't hit more than one target, and, well, you know, there's 2 targets here, so they didn't get to completely cash in. Crow, however, got to cash in on a full jump up and down on one. It still didn't like boost them up higher than just in the middle, but yeah, nevertheless. Charlie, actually really good in the game right now, but 1.5, 1.6, she actually gets a hypercharge pretty quick. That's nice. Melody, I'm glad she doesn't get her hypercharge faster than 4 supers because she would be ridiculous if it wasn't. She does get it decently fast though, 1.2 seconds, but that's because there's multiple targets to hit here. Chuck is a weird one. It only takes him less than a second to actually build up that hypercharge, assuming you've got multiple brawlers standing right there that'll let you wail on them. However, we don't know how many super cycles it would be to get that hypercharge because it automatically charges and it doesn't deal damage like normal. I do know that if you use your super and you go through somebody, it charges up his super and his hypercharge a lot faster, but really doesn't matter because at the end of the day, when we're talking about Chuck, his hypercharge is about as useful as a fork in a soup eating contest. It's just not good. Just not good. Kenji. Once again, we stopped the timer just a tiny bit early for Kenji here because, well, we missed one attack, so there's that, but it takes 4 supers to cycle to get that hypercharge, which is good because if it took any less than that, then, I mean, it's crazy. Even though it got nerfed, it's still absolutely wild, so it's still a pretty good hypercharge. Primo's in the middle of the pack, but still kind of like average. Not like crazy. 3 supers. Time's pretty decent, but it's Primo. 8-bit, it's a great hypercharge when you get it. Takes a while to get it, though. Now, the next 2 brawlers actually ended up right about the same time. Shade gets an advantage because he's got that charging circle, and he can hit multiple people at the same time. So, 2.5 supers at 0.88 seconds. Exactly same time as Edgar here. 2.5 supers at 0.88 seconds. Edgar can actually hit 2 people. Shade can as well, and he gets the bonus. So actually, Edgar's probably more useful to get it more often, but at least you don't actually have to hit anybody with Shade. Mo, in his driller, he gets it so fast when he is in his driller. Outside of it is actually painful. Trunk here, we cut the time a little bit just because missed the super, we didn't completely nail the super, but yeah. Now for Pearl, it might depend on her heat just a little bit, but at the end of the day, it doesn't matter because Pearl's hypercharge is also about as useful as chopsticks in the soup eating contest. Pearl's is trash. Don't ever buy that hypercharge. Seriously, just wait till they give it to you and then complain about it because you got it out of your hypercharge star drop. Poco's actually is pretty quick, honestly. 2 supers and he gets it really quick, especially if you're in multiple targets. Poco's going to do really good for you. Barley here is actually pretty quick. 3 supers cycled, which seems like a little bit much, but it's probably pretty average. He gets it pretty quick, though. He's got 2 targets there. However, you might be wondering, which class in Brawl Stars has the lowest super cycle to get their hypercharge of any class in the game? And the answer would be, actually, the support brawlers. They actually average 2.325 supers cycled to get their hypercharge. Next up is actually the tanks. But the tanks, again, they get to cheat a little bit because they take damage. They charge up that hypercharge a little bit quicker than some of the other classes. But then we get the artilleries coming in at 3rd place. After them, we actually have the Marksmen at 2.65 super cycled to get their hypercharge, followed up by the controllers at 2.71, the damage dealers coming in at 2.79, and then finally, the slowest class in Brawl Stars to get their hypercharge is actually the assassins. Now, even if you take out Stu, because he kind of throws them off there, they're still the slowest. So yeah, it makes sense though, because if you're playing an assassin, you probably don't want them cycling out 1 billion hypercharges on you all the time. They're already oppressive as it is, so it's probably a good thing. But yeah, assassins, the slowest hypercharge cycle of any class in the game. Speaking of assassins, we have Sam. Or wait, is he a tank? Yeah, he's an assassin. I totally knew that. I didn't have to go check it at all. I totally knew Sam was an assassin. Don't worry about it. Speaking of assassins, we've got Sam. Here's the bad thing about Sam. A, nobody plays Sam. B, it takes 4 freaking super cycles to get it there. Actually, that's weird because he actually gets it automatically whenever he picks him up. This one's a little bit deceiving because he does just get his super back. He starts with it, he gets it back. But the way it all works out, all you really need to know is it takes Sam quite a while to build that up in a game. And it's really good once you get it, but nobody's playing Sam anyway. 92nd in terms of use rate. Nobody uses Sam. Now, Buzz's actually goes pretty quick because he's got that supercharge radius as well. I'm surprised it's not actually quicker than it is, but yeah, still, nevertheless. Now, Frank, we actually, again, gave him a little bit of extra time credit there, just because we used a super at the end where it would have been faster to use a regular attack, but, he doesn't seem to care. He's jamming. That is what it is. Maisie's is actually, look at that, 2.25 supers to get a hypercharge. Actually really quick if you can hit her shots. They can be a little bit tough to hit sometimes, though, so, I get it. And then we got Kaze down here at number 32. Now, we did this in Geisha form mainly because her reload speed is much quicker in Geisha form, so the faster you can get off damage, the faster you can get her hypercharge. If you were wondering how good her other form does, I actually don't know because we forgot to record it, but just know that it takes longer. It takes longer. You don't get as many attacks off and as fast as well as you can actually hit multiple targets with this one. So for this test, it's actually much quicker to use the geisha form. Yeah, if you're wondering about ninja form, just make up a number in your head and we'll just go with that one. 3 supers cycled to get a hypercharge. It's not great. It's not horrible, but it is what it is. Ash only takes 2. It's really quick. One of the quicker ones in the game in terms of super cycle. Only takes 2 of them, but again, you got to be pretty close. Got a little bit of delay to his shot, so, you know, whatever. Amber's, it looked ridiculous in this test. 0.67 seconds to actually get that hypercharge, but in a game, you're cycling it nowhere near that quick. And which is a good thing too, because yeah. Now Mortis actually 3.1. Basically all that means it takes 3 supers plus 1 hit to get that hypercharge. Sounds like it'd be fast, but in reality you got to be good at hitting your shots as well as getting your bats to chain to be able to get those supers, and the hypercharge is just right. So Buster is, well, his hypercharge is good-ish. I thought it was going to be better, honestly, when I saw it in Brawl Talk. I thought, bro, that is so broken. But one that is as broken as you would think is Byron. Not only does it only take 2 1/4 to get it, but it's such a good hypercharge. It's just like you get close, you just auto aim on somebody and they're done for, dude. It's like, it's so good. It's so good. Now for Spike, in a game, it's not going to get that fast. Not going to stand inside of a Frank and then he's just going to let you do that. So yeah. Bo. Okay, can we just talk about Bo for a second? Not only is it 2.5 supers to get it, but if you can get your totem up and get some value out of it, and then if you place it well enough and you can actually keep those totems going, 2.5 supers does not take very long. Bo's hypercharge right now and his supers are kind of crazy right now. Bo is really, really freaking good. Lumi's is still pretty good. I mean, she gets her hypercharge pretty quick at, 2 1/4. It's not as cracked as you would think. It's still really strong, but it's not amazing. And also not amazing is Jessie. What's here? Look at this weird. Like, you look at this stat right now and you think 1.66 supers to get my hypercharge. That's broken, right? But in reality, Jessie's just not that great of a brawler. So it actually, while she's at 22nd place, it only takes her 0.6 seconds. Reality says that no, it's just not that good. Rico's is really good. Shelly is, Shelly. I still don't see very much of her in game, even with the gadget change. I don't know. I thought that Shelly would get a really good buff from that gadget change, and she didn't really seem to. Shelly is still just Shelly. I don't know. But actually, the fastest assassin in terms of super cycles in the game is actually Lily. And she is absolutely cracked right now. Like, Lily is so good. Not only does it charge up decently quick, but also with the super charging circle, it's ridiculous. And you can, like, get on somebody with that super, get a ton of value with it. And then once you get the hypercharge, yeah, you're only going to kill one person probably, but it's like a guaranteed kill. Like, if you hit somebody with your hypercharge super as a Lily, they're done. And yeah, that's why we're all the way up here at 18. And now that we're up this far, actually, from here on out, all these brawlers, you're going to be getting your hypercharge really quick. I mean, yeah, some of these brawlers may not be the best in the game, but in terms of getting your hypercharge, it takes 3 supers with Colt. 0.5 seconds if you can just completely unload all your damage and clip everything. Is pretty wild. Squeak's actually 0.52 seconds, which is something that you didn't think that you might see there. It does take 2.6 supers to cycle it. Now, yeah, granted, you're not always going to be hitting 2 Franks at a time, so yeah, that skews it a little bit in terms of the time-wise, but Squeaks comes out pretty quick. You're always getting maybe guaranteed 1, probably 2 of these hypercharges every single game with Squeak. Bull has seen a resurgence like crazy. When they changed his super, they made Bull an actual force. Like, he's a brawler that you can actually play now and do really well. Like, he's scary to play against. 2.5 supers isn't that much, and he gets it pretty dang quick. Bull is a strong one, but not as girthy as Doug, and his wiener. That doesn't sound right, but yeah, Doug's actually really good. 2 supers is all it takes, and he gets it from healing his teammates as well. Nita also, you know what? Nita is a little bit underrated. I'm just going to say it. With as many tanks and assassins as we got in the game right now, I think Nita is underrated. She's a great tank counter, and it only takes 2 supers to get that hypercharge. So yeah, surprising coming in at number 11 is Nita. So here we are now at the top 10. First one we've got here is Meg. I don't know why I'm resting my hand on my TV now. But we've got Meg here. She's coming in at number 10. Now the timer, we did cut that a little bit short for a little bit of missed attacks there. But the super cycle, that's always going to be standard. The time is just for whatever. Yeah, 2.5 supers to get that hypercharge. It's pretty dang solid. Oh, wow. Crashing in on him like that is Brock. Not only does he have a fast time at 0.42, but also only 2 supers cycled to get that hypercharge. This one again though is a little bit deceiving because how often is it that you actually are going to get multiple extra damage with Brock's fire on the ground? I don't think he's actually this high, although Brock is my second favorite brawler. Now coming in at number 8, we have old Grom here. Now Grom, again, check that out, dude. 1.75 supers to get that. His shots are a little bit harder to hit though. People know how to dodge them, so especially up high, so maybe it's, again, a little bit deceiving, but Griff, okay. All right, let's talk about Griff for a second. 3.66 supers to get his hypercharge. It only takes him 0.34 seconds in this test, and that's why he's this high. But thank God that it is actually not that cracked in a game. And you can usually only get like 1 hypercharge, maybe 2 per game. Probably get 2, but like it takes a lot. And thank goodness, because Griff's hypercharge is absolutely bonkers crazy good. So it's probably the strongest hypercharge in the game, in my opinion. BB, look at that. 2. Again, why does it always seem like BB in a game? She always has her hypercharge. Literally, every time you turn around, BB's got a hypercharge. She's throwing the bubbles straight at your face, and they bounce around, and you can't dodge them. You're trying to, but then you're like, oh, that bounced over there. I'm not going to get hit by it. And you still get hit by it every time you get hit by it. Maybe that's a me problem. It's probably a skill issue on my part. Terra's time is actually nuts. 0.33 seconds to get that hypercharge. 2 supers. But in a game, this test made her look better than she really is. You're not getting them that quick. It's not like number 5 quickest one. For this test, yes, it is. This is factually true. Still, her hypercharge is pretty crazy too. And she gets it a decent amount, but not quite, 5th fastest on the list. Rose is actually the fastest of all the tanks. On the downside for her, it's Rose's hypercharge. It's not that good. Now, number 3 on the list is actually Dynamite. If you can hit your shots with Dynamite, and that's a big if sometimes, if you can hit your shots with Dynamite, you can actually get this really quick because, yes, it takes 3.66 supers to cycle that. All you have to do is hit your super on 1 target, and you got half of it back again. You hit 2 people, you've got another free super ready to go. So if you can hit your shots, Dynamite actually is really, really fast. You're going to get multiple hypercharges per game with Dynamite, which makes it a very, very good hypercharge. Now, number 2 on this list is actually RT. He's the fastest of all the damage dealers. Now, again, there's a big caveat here, and that's that we did this when he was in a split form. And you can get it in 0.25 seconds if you hit 2 targets in your split form. But in a game, you're mainly going to be shooting from a distance, and when you're doing that, his is actually extremely slow. It's so many hits to actually get that hypercharge, so it looks very impressive, but unless you can actually have the time to split and hit some people while you're split, it takes a while. I said the Griff's was the best hypercharge in the game. His is actually the best. It just takes a long, long time to get it unless you're split. So this is a little bit deceiving here. He's number 2. But the question I got for you is, who do you think is number 1? I don't know if you've been paying attention to who all we've shown so far, or maybe you're waiting for your favorite brawler to show up and you just haven't seen him yet. I told you in the intro you'd be shocked to find out who number 1 is. Well, the wait is no more because Tick has potentially the fastest charging hypercharge in the game. And it's not even close, 0.16 seconds. Now, that is just theoretical. That's not realistic. While theoretically, yes, Tick, you can get your hypercharge in 0.16 seconds charged up. In a game, you're hitting like 1 shot, one of those mines, or people are just sitting there waiting, cursing at you off the screen because they can't see you, but your little tick mines are in the way. It's really not that quick. I mean, you're probably going to get 2 ticks hypercharges a game, which is solid as long as you hit some shots. But, number 1 though? Who came up with this test? So I'm actually working on another free-to-play video right now. I'm writing the script as you watch this. If you're watching this in the next few days, you can start it out here. You can catch up. Watch the playlist of all my free-to-play videos right there. Click on it. Or right over here, there's another video that YouTube thinks that you're really going to like. Are you really going to like it? I don't know, but give it a shot. I appreciate you guys. You guys also, hey, let me know in the comments down below. Did you like this style of video? Let me know in the comments down below.